A cute girl waits for her train at the station. An announcement is made asking passengers to stay behind the white line. On the other hand, some people rush, wanting to get to their usual seats because of a special scenario they want to see. Inside the train, our MC is lost in thought, thinking about someone he loves. This is a story about Hikoichi and his crush. They share a seat on the train, but they don't even know each other's names yet. It's almost 7 a.m. on a regular weekday. The train is getting cozy with commuters. Hikoichi is chilling in his regular spot when his crush strolls in. He doesn't know her name, but he has feelings for her. He admires her bookish ways and wonders which school she attends. He longs to chat her up every morning as he watches her from afar. Instead, he settles for the same conversation every day with his shoelaces. This love session happens during a 20-minute train ride each day. Our MC and his crush share a seat. He always thinks about confessing his feelings, but he never does. Some secret supportive passengers are curious to see if they make any progress. They treat this daily love story like it's a Netflix show, except with no skip intro button. To understand this story, we need to go into a flashback. 4 months ago, he first saw the girl. He was surprised by her cuteness, but curious because her uniform was different from his school. The secret supportive passengers noticed our boy blushing and realized he liked her. And then after a month, when the girl didn't get on the train, he wondered if he was on the wrong train by any chance. He even considered asking the driver if they had made a wrong turn. The passengers guessed that our lad missed the girl and wanted her to be on the train with him. Then, 2 months ago, she finally appeared on the train, sitting next to him once again. He was so happy to see her that he quickly turned his face away, not wanting her to see him blushing. He felt it would be too creepy, but the secret passengers, a group of 3, were overjoyed seeing the MC happy. This group consists of a manager, an office lady, and a university student who exchange contact with each other. The manager wants the lad to make progress quickly, but the university student advises against it, explaining that a sudden confession can make someone uncomfortable. To prove his point, the manager jokingly says, "I love you," to the office lady. She glares at him like he just proposed during a job interview, and getting offended, she replies that she won't ride that train anymore. The university student explains that's exactly the kind of reaction a normal person has when a stranger suddenly confesses. He talks like someone who's been rejected in HD. He now observes our boy and his crush, wishing they would make progress. So they decide to help them secretly. They say it like they are launching a secret mission, but it's just a matchmaking. The MC thinks about how he's been going with her for months, but he still hasn't had the courage to talk to her. While in the group chat, the university student assures them that he has many ways to help them exchange numbers, but the boy should be waiting for the right opportunity. Suddenly, the MC sees a keychain on the girl's bag. It was the kind of moment where anime sparkles should have appeared, but instead he just chokes on his own gasp. It's from a very famous game. He's astonished, and his small exclamation makes everyone curious and shocked. His whisper is louder than it should be. Classic train mistake. The girl looks at him, but he immediately covers his mouth with his hand. The group of secret supporters watches with curiosity as a university student points out that the boy and his crush have matching game-themed keychains. Our lad, blushing furiously, quietly asks the girl if her keychain is from the trending game. Just as she's about to respond, an old man in front of the MC loudly says he recognizes the keychain. He likes the game too. The girl looks just as surprised as everyone else. The secret support group is instantly annoyed, whispering among themselves, wondering who invited this old man into what was clearly the lad's moment. The student is stunned, realizing the game must be more popular than he thought. Meanwhile, the boy looks like his soul is quietly trying to sneak off the train. Then the old man notices a matching sticker on the girl's bag and asks if she plays the game too. Now everyone waits to hear her answer. In a polite voice, the girl says yes. She just started playing because it was trending, though she hasn't played much yet. The old man, trying to be friendly, starts talking about features of the game. She responds that she finds the characters cute. The passengers now know something personal about her, and the MC seizes the moment. In a quiet, nervous voice, he suggests they could play together sometime. The supportive passengers are thrilled. The university student silently cheers him on, knowing this is real progress. But before the girl can answer, the old man chimes in again. He says he'd love to play games with him too. Hikoichi is stunned. That's not the response he was aiming for. The passengers groan in frustration as the old man gives Hikoichi his contact information. Just then, our boy's stop arrives. He gets off, still dazed, leaving the rest of the passengers with the girl. The group chats quietly, noting that despite the chaos, the boy made progress today. They hope he'll keep it up. Moments later, the girl's friend arrives, calling her by name, Nayu, and sits beside her. She notices Nayu looks down and asks what's wrong. Nayu, flustered, admits she believed someone asked to play a game with her. and she was excited but is too embarrassed now. The passengers are stunned. They realize she wanted to say yes. One of them sighs, commenting that they need to call the boy, but they all silently agree. Same time tomorrow, they'll be back, rooting for the boy once again. The passengers collectively facepalm like it's a group project gone wrong. The duo is on the train again. For the third day in a row, she chooses the seat beside him. After how awkward things got, he was sure she wouldn't. So today, as she sits down, he quietly asks himself why. It doesn't feel like a coincidence. He overthinks it like a math problem with emotional consequences. In his mind, his seat carries a loser tax no one wants to pay. Surely no one would choose to sit next to him. He thinks about confessing, but maybe it's too soon. Nayu, meanwhile, is just as embarrassed, replaying something she said yesterday. Neither of them knows the other feels the same, but the secret support group of passengers around them, they know, and they're growing impatient. In the group chat, the university student points out the obvious. Still no progress. The others are confused, so she explains. Maybe they were wrong. Maybe the girl doesn't actually like the guy, and Hikoichi? He's stuck in a maybe she does or no way she doesn't loop. His brain buffering harder than cheap Wi-Fi in a rainstorm. He sits there wondering if she likes him. He's afraid to confess because he doesn't want her to say, "I like you as a friend," or anything else that would embarrass him. And that phrase alone is enough to trigger an emotional reboot. After hearing the university student's points, the manager disagrees, saying he thinks they are a cute couple who always brighten his day. The office lady gently adds that it takes real courage to speak to someone when you're sitting side by side like strangers. Maybe the lad just doesn't have that courage yet. The student nods, realizing he overthought it and that her explanation makes sense. Everyone in the group chat is worried. Every time they make a little progress, something interrupts before anything can truly begin. The office lady sighs. Love is full of misunderstandings, she says, but still, she wishes the two would just talk already. They all agree. They want to know what's going on in the girl's heart. Her face is unreadable while Hikoichi wears his emotions like headlines. Hikoichi, meanwhile, sits there thinking he's a loser for not having the guts to talk to her. Since they started sitting together, they've only shared a seat and noticed their matching keychains. Nothing more. He still feels like a stranger to her. He thinks about the popular guys at school and wishes he were like them, someone she'd actually notice. While he's lost in thought, the university student leans in, eyes narrowing like he's spotted the final clue in a dramatic dating documentary. The office lady asks what he's staring at. He nods toward the train window's reflection. There, tucked in the book Nayu is reading, is what looks like a note. At that exact moment, while Hikoichi is silently wondering what she thinks of him, he notices it too. His eyes lock onto the note. It reads, "I also like you." His heart takes off, pounding so loudly the person next to him might hear it. His face twists into the expression of someone who just said, "You too," to happy birthday. But before anyone can celebrate, the old manager squints and says, "That's not a note, that's the title of the book." He casually adds that he's reading it too and starts quoting his favorite lines, only to be cut off by the office lady teasing him for being so thirsty for romance at his age. Hikoichi quietly covers his mouth, mortified. He just jumped to the most romantic conclusion possible. Now, in his head, he's deleting every hopeful thought like he's frantically clearing his browser history. The uni student texts that reading a book like that in public usually means the person is in love. Hikoichi blushes and wonders if the girl goes to another school and hasn't noticed him. He tries to calm himself down because he doesn't want to get caught up in stupid fantasies. While reading the novel, Nayu actually blushes and gets off the train as it arrives at her station. On her way, her friend Himari greet her and ask about the novel. Nayu tells them it's a popular love story about a man and woman who share a seat on the same train every morning on their way to school. Nayu raves about the characters in the novel, saying they're very special to her. She gets so involved in the story that she starts blending her real life with it, like it's a fan fiction crossover only she can decode. She is actually talking about herself and Hikoichi, but she uses the novel as a reference so her friends won't catch on. But she gets so caught up in the story that she accidentally says she's really attracted to him. Her friend is surprised after noticing that Nayu is actually talking about herself, but then she quickly clarifies that she meant the main character. Himari laughs and says she hopes it's all about that novel. Nayu laughs too, but inside she's filing an emotional damage report with 0 witnesses, thinking she is very conscious about this thing, unlike the novels. On the other hand, the passengers get so friendly that they meet up afterward. The scene transitions to Hikoichi's home. His mom wonders why he's up so late. It's the middle of the night, but he is determined to finish his homework. He's worried he'll fail English if he doesn't. Ironically, the only English he's fluent in right now is panic. He's also torn because he wants to catch the train and see his crush. In the end, he decides he'll finish his homework so he can see her in the morning, no matter what. The scene shifts to the morning. The train tracks rumble and passengers fill the train. It's early and everyone's still a little sleepy. The supportive passengers noticed something strange. Hikoichi is fast asleep on the train, his head resting on his crush's shoulder. Somewhere in his dreams, he's probably winning a Best Boyfriend award. But in reality, it's an awkward situation for both of them, as he is totally out of it and has no idea what's going on. Suddenly, he wakes up and is totally shocked. He's super embarrassed, but his crush comments that it's no big deal, while it's still a really awkward moment. Hikoichi wonders how this even happened. How did he fall asleep and end up leaning on her shoulder? Mortified, he thinks about how bittersweet it feels. Meanwhile, the supportive passengers watch in awe, talking about the boldness of today's youth. Hikoichi, face burning red, silently panics, worried that after this she won't want to sit with him ever again. Stretching his eyes, he forces himself to stay awake, determined not to fall asleep again. His eyes are doing cardio, but his brain already clocked out. He is determined not to fall asleep on her again, but he's losing the battle with his eyelids. His head starts bobbing, and Nayu gets nervous, hoping he won't lose his balance. But their supporters are secretly hoping for some drama. Just as the train pulls into the station, the announcement wakes Hikoichi up with a jolt. He wakes up like he forgot his phone, wallet, and dignity at home, horrified. Realizing he's fallen asleep on her again, he's startled and checks to see if he fell asleep on her again. He also guesses that the warm weather and the train's gentle shaking make him feel drowsy. He's really embarrassed and doesn't want to do anything that would make her think badly of him. But the train looks less like a public transport, more like a lullaby simulator. Hikoichi figures out that he's still sleepy, so he should lean against the window. Meanwhile, the supportive passengers are buzzing. Some think he's too polite and needs to act more like a playboy to connect with her. But the uni student tells everyone to relax and just wait. He explains that the train's upcoming tunnel, with its sharp curves, might help. Centrifugal force could naturally push the boy closer to her. The manager silently praises the student's brilliance, and the office lady agrees, adding that if Hikoichi's still asleep, he won't be able to resist inertia. Even the manager admits he can feel the pull and wonders if the girl will too. As the train enters the tunnel and rounds the bend, everyone watches closely. Hikoichi begins to lean toward her again. The group silently cheers him on to just go with the flow. But then he wakes up with a jolt and asks in a panic if he fell on her again. She hesitates, then politely replies no. The passengers grumble, wondering if they missed something. Suddenly, the uni student tells the office lady to ease up. Her arm is crushing the manager. The moment breaks, and the passengers start to settle into open seats. Meanwhile, Hikoichi's mind spirals. He thinks he's ruined everything and starts drafting an imaginary apology text. Sorry for existing. But then, Nayu gently nudges him and asks if he's getting off at the stop. Surprised, he nods and thanks her. She replies softly, "No problem," as the group watches closely. Just as he steps off, she suddenly calls out, telling him to wait. When he turns around, she quickly hides her face behind her book, clearly flustered. The train doors begin to close and Hikoichi steps off, heart pounding. His crush just spoke to him for the first time. Inside the train, Nayu sits still, her heart doing parkour while her face stays calm. She wonders if she came off as weird and hopes he doesn't think she's creepy for knowing his station. But the group chat is delighted. If she knows his stop, it means progress. The following day, Hikoichi casually listens about at his horoscope. According to the star sign, whoever is near him will become very intimate with him. He jumps back in shock, thinking to himself that there must be countless others with the same star sign, so the prediction can't possibly apply to him. His trust in horoscopes is shakier than his Wi-Fi during rain. The secret supportive passengers also sense something unusual is about to unfold this morning. Hikoichi saves a seat for his crush on the train and decides to thank her for yesterday, but his mind is replaying the horoscope prediction. Soon her station arrives, and he is surprised at how quickly it came. Determined to speak to her as soon as she sits beside him, he greets the person who takes the seat, only to be shocked that it's not her, but the same old man who had once come between him and his love story. The plot twist hits him like pressing send on a message meant for someone else. The old man cheerfully greets our lad, calling their meeting a coincidence and saying it's good to see him again. Meanwhile, the secret supportive passengers mutter in their group chat that this old man has become an unwanted third wheel in a budding love story. Apparently, fate now delivers updates through retired uncles. The old man mentions that his star sign is also Cancer, and that he read his horoscope that morning. The office lady comments she doesn't believe in horoscopes, but she's sure what the old man is doing isn't right. They watch as Hikoichi, clearly disappointed, tries to force a conversation with the old man. He had expected his crush to take that seat. Looking around, the office lady spots her standing nearby, her usual seat taken by the old man. When Hikoichi notices her standing right in front of him, he's shocked and becomes self-conscious. The group chat buzzes. Maybe she is standing close to hear him speak after all. The university student turned detective speculates that the girl might now think Hikoichi and the old man are close friends. She may even offer her seat to the old man in the future, giving up on sitting next to him. A heartbreaking outcome for the group, who rely on this love story for their daily joy. To their dismay, the old man begins chatting about games, and Hikoichi, slowly warming up, starts engaging in the conversation. Watching this unfold, they note in the chat that the girl seems to be shivering, possibly heartbroken. Either she's cold or her crush is socially bonding with the final boss. They wonder she is afraid that if Hikoichi and the old man become close friends, she will lose her seat next to Hikoichi. While talking, he tells the old man that this is the first time in his life he is talking to someone about his favorite game character, Shion. Hikoichi thinks to himself that this is almost like a confession he hopes she will catch. He basically just yelled, "I have feelings," in gamer language. The passengers in the group chat also say that Hikoichi might have shown his confession. After hearing all this, Nayu starts shivering and muses to herself that she also wants to talk about Shion, but she doesn't have a chance to talk now. In the group chat, the passengers note that Nayu looks visibly upset. Her expression betrays a mix of frustration and disappointment. Hikoichi, oblivious, keeps talking about games with the old man. Nayu, listening in, is both startled and shaken. She wonders, if they had gone to the same school, would she still have admired him from afar, or would she have gathered the courage to sit beside him and speak, like the old man does now? In her mind, she pictures passing him in a hallway and accidentally knocking over his entire emotional stability. Meanwhile, the old man, growing more animated, mentions that next time they ride together, they should play the same games. He casually asks Hikoichi about his morning routine, whether he takes this train every day. The atmosphere in the train car turns tense. Everyone, including Nayu, leans in figuratively, waiting for his answer. When Hikoichi replies that he takes the same train every morning, Nayu whips around suddenly and blurts out, "What?" She doesn't say another word, but that single syllable carries all the drama of a love confession interrupted by fate. A mix of curiosity, surprise, and something like heartbreak flickers across her face. Now, both Hikoichi and Nayu are caught off guard. Hikoichi wonders why she reacted that way. What did she mean? What was she about to say? The moment hangs heavy until the old man casually mentions he only rides this train a few times a month, unintentionally bringing everyone a collective sense of relief. As he prepares to leave, the old man drops the name of a game character and says he looks forward to playing together next time. Then he exits the train like a man who believes he's just rescued a relationship, perhaps his own. He's gone, but the effect lingers. The next morning, Nayu sits far away from Hikoichi, her posture stiff with embarrassment. The group chat buzzes. Maybe she's avoiding him because of yesterday's awkwardness. This pattern continues for days. The tension between them is so thick, even the seat cushions seem to sense it. The next day, tension fills the train, unspoken but clearly felt. Everyone's thoughts silently circle the same concern. Amidst it all, the aroma of sausage egg muffins drifts through the car. In the group chat, the office lady wonders where it's coming from. The uni student admits he enjoys the smell, while the manager brushes it off, claiming he doesn't care, though he secretly hopes it wafts by again. The office lady clarifies that it's not about who brought it, but that the smell is too distracting, making it hard to focus on Nayu and Hikoichi. Meanwhile, the group quietly notes how unusually restless both of them seem today. Suddenly, the sound of stomach growling fills the air, startling Hikoichi, Nayu, and the other supporters. Both of them exchange puzzled glances, wondering who could have made that noise. They both mentally practice their "it wasn't me" face like they're on trial for snack theft, but they pinpoint the sound to a girl on the seat in front of them, complaining to her boyfriend about her hunger. Relieved it wasn't their stomachs, Hikoichi and Nayu share a moment of gratitude, knowing how embarrassing that would have been if these were one of them. It's the closest thing to romantic bonding over digestive relief. Meanwhile, the observant passengers in the group chat also realize that the lovebirds' tension stems from their fear of people hearing their stomachs growl. The group chat buzzes with advice talking that stomach growling is a normal bodily function and they shouldn't be so worried. However, the office lady suggests focusing on all senses to both observe and listen to our boy and girl effectively. The manager, adjusting his seat like he's tuning into a premium drama. But he realizes he too might be exposed by the Asameku's scent. He doesn't want Nayu and Hikoichi to be bothered or distracted by the sound of everyone's stomachs growling, because nothing kills romantic tension like synchronized stomach solos. Just then, Hikoichi notices the passengers in front of them opening their lunch. Their excited chatter about food making everyone on the train incredibly hungry and panicked. This hunger becomes unbearable for everyone on the train, making it difficult to hold back. To combat the hunger, Nayu quickly opens her bag for gummies only to find the packet empty, leaving her shocked. She stares into the empty packet like it just betrayed her. While the office lady in the group chat wonder how Nayu will handle the situation. Meanwhile, Hikoichi, unable to bear his hunger any longer, pulls out his lunchbox. The observers watch in shock, wondering what he'll do next. At this point, even a single rice grain would qualify as a plot twist. Just as he unveils his lunchbox, another passenger opens theirs, releasing a mouth-watering curry aroma that fills the train. Everyone, including Hikoichi, Nayu, and the secret supportive passengers, all are stunned by the train's unexpected open kitchen vibes. The office lady exclaims in the group chat that the train's events are a form of violence, wondering who eats such a heavy lunch so early. The overwhelming food smells cause Hikoichi and Nayu to tremble, their hunger now unbearable. They shake like two weak Wi-Fi signals trying to connect emotionally. The manager then reveals that they are our duo's spectators. And notice their distress and frustrated by the situation, he declares he can't take it anymore and needs to do something. All of this just impressed the office lady, and suddenly the manager reveals his asameku, willing to offer it to these lovebirds to quell their hunger. The office lady points out that they would never accept food from a stranger, but also shocked to realize that finally they understanding the source of the delicious aroma. On the other hand, Nayu starts drinking her tea to cope with the hunger, while Hikoichi remembers he has a water bottle. The train fills with the sounds of growling stomachs, creating a chaotic scene of hunger-induced madness. Words can't describe the scene. It sounds less like a morning commute and more like a zombie apocalypse with lunchboxes, because entire train is a symphony of growling stomachs. The situation has shifted from embarrassing to comical, and Hikoichi and Nayu started smiling, hiding their faces. As the train pulls into the station, all the passengers rush to the curry shop, ordering asa meku and curry, causing a sudden surge in customers. A major twist is about to unfold in Hikoichi and Nayu's love story. To find out what happens to them on the train today, we need to keep going. As the train pulls into Nayu's station and she boards, but when she looks ahead, Hikoichi isn't in his seat. He's given their seats to some elderly people who are thanking him happily. One of them blesses him so sincerely, Hikoichi briefly wonders if he just got spiritually adopted. Nayu is happy to see him being his usual helpful self. The train starts moving, and now Hikoichi, Nayu, and the other passengers are walking through the train together because there aren't any seats left. Hikoichi ponders that even though he didn't get to sit with her, he's happy just to be standing next to her. Suddenly, they catch each other's reflections in the train window. Both pretend to admire the scenery like it's a National Geographic special on subway tunnels. They're both staring, and it gets a little awkward, so they quickly look away. Both unknowingly share the same thought. They shouldn't get caught staring in the reflection. Meanwhile, the uni students and office lady mention they feel something special is going to happen today. But here's the thing. The manager can't see what's happening because he's facing the wrong way. He asks the others to fill him in, and the office lady assures to him a running commentary. She thinks she should start narrating like it's a nature documentary. Hikoichi blushes, thinking it's normal to stare at a girl when she's standing right in front of him. Hikoichi finds everything about Nayu, her hands, her face, irresistibly cute. He's one skipped heartbeat away from composing a sonnet in his head. Nayu, meanwhile, notices their height difference and his broad shoulders, imagining him effortlessly opening a jam jar, a quiet symbol of strength. Watching silently, the old man smiles at the messages in the group chat, reminiscing about his youth when he wrote songs for a girl in his class. Unable to resist, he subtly nudges the two together with his back. The others quickly message him, "Don't get involved." He claims it's accidental, but that push has the precision of a GPS-guided missile. He retorts that they probably didn't notice him because the train is pretty crowded. Meanwhile, Hikoichi and Nayu are both musing they shouldn't look back because they might catch each other's eye. Continuing the convo, the uni student gets a bit philosophical, stating there's a strange barrier between the boy and the girl, the train mirror. But this barrier might actually help them notice their feelings for each other. He also adds that if there's ever a day for them to read each other's feelings, it's today. Listening to this, the other two in the group chat give him an awkward look, and he reminds them to fix their faces so Hikoichi and Nayu don't get suspicious. The manager is already pouting like a kid who dropped his ice cream. He gets curious and asks if he can switch places with someone to see the scene himself. The group chat notices Hikoichi and Nayu looking at each other again, meaning they've been caught staring again. Hikoichi feels really strange. Even though he's sat with girls on the train before, this is the first time he's standing next to his dream girl, seeing her face to face in the mirror. It's a really strange situation for him, like romantic VR, awkward, immersive, and slightly lagging. Hikoichi tells himself to stay calm. Their eyes just met perfectly, and he wonders if that means Nayu's been watching him too. He tries not to overthink, but then again, 3 coincidences in a row can't be random, right? His expression gives it away. In the group chat, the secret supporters sense something is about to happen. The office lady comments she can't see Hikoichi clearly, while the manager grows increasingly curious, asking the others for updates. Just then, Hikoichi catches Nayu glancing his way. Could she really be looking at him? He doubts it, until she looks again. He cautiously follows her gaze and realizes she's staring at the manager, who has a praying mantis on his head. The mantis looks as startled as everyone else to be in the middle of this love triangle. The old man messages that he feels something on his own head. The office lady and uni student warn him not to move, making him panic as if it were a dinosaur. The uni student identifies the bug, and the manager, unfazed, claims that he used to be a bug catcher. Fate has simply returned the favor. Meanwhile, an elderly couple whom Hikoichi had given his seat to earlier thank him, saying their stop is coming up, and now both of them can sit down again. Blushing, Hikoichi asks what she meant by both since he's alone. The lady begins to say she thought he and the girl were a couple, but Nayu quickly shushes her. Realizing her mistake, the lady apologizes. After the couple exits, Hikoichi and Nayu sit down together, both awkward and flustered. She wonders if he noticed her shushing the woman. Hikoichi can't stop thinking about what the old lady was going to say. Meanwhile, the manager casually puts on sunglasses, claiming it lets him observe unnoticed. The group chat erupts. He's drawing even more attention. He's now one dramatic head tilt away from starring in a spy film. Another morning on the train begins. Same routine, but something's different. 2 elementary school girls sit across from our couple, chatting about their school crushes. One shyly says a boy's name, and the other instantly turns red. It hits Hikoichi like a flying chalkboard eraser from middle school. The atmosphere on the train shifts. The supportive passengers smile, their day quietly brightened by the girls' innocent exchange. Nayu listens, lost in memory of writing a crush's name inside a textbook. Hikoichi suspects this might be the girl's first taste of love, the kind that makes even a name feel electric. In the group chat, the office ladies notice something. Everyone's expression is perfectly in sync today. They joke that Hikoichi and Nayu are now doing exactly what they have always done, watching someone else's story unfold. As the chat rolls on, attention drifts. Every ear, every glance slowly turns toward the 2 blushing girls, unexpectedly stealing the spotlight. One of the girls confesses that even just thinking about her crush makes her feel happy, but she still can't gather the courage to confess. Her honesty stirs something in Nayu and Hikoichi. They start relating to the conversation more than they expected. Even the office lady finds herself watching the scene a bit too closely. She starts taking mental notes just in case she ever goes back to middle school and needs a second shot. Hikoichi starts reflecting. He has feelings for Nayu. He's not thinking about dating exactly, but he's caught in a maybe or what-if zone that doesn't let him go. One by one, all the passengers become invested in the elementary school girls' talk. But then the tone shifts. The girls discuss how, if you don't act, someone else might swoop in and steal your crush. Hikoichi and Nayu both freeze. And it's the kind of freeze you get when your mom says, "We need to talk," and you haven't done anything. Yet. Their expressions tighten enough to spark whispers in the group chat. The university student comments that while harsh, the advice is real. And maybe it's the jolt Hikoichi and Nayu need. It's like shock therapy, but from unexpected therapist. One schoolgirl suggests that showing off might help, while the other explains how she knows just how to make guys clingy. The train falls into stunned silence. The group chat goes into full alert. These elementary school girls aren't just experienced, they're dangerously insightful. One girl casually mentions she doesn't want her boyfriend getting too comfortable just because they kissed once. Hikoichi and Nayu go beet red, stunned at how far ahead these girls are in the romance game. The passengers aren't sure whether to laugh or panic. The manager looks ready to call a parent-teacher conference on behalf of society. The conversation escalates. Other girl offers her friend advice. If her crush gives her gifts, that's fine. Boys like that are fun to play with. The maturity in their voices is too much for the train to handle. A quiet suspicion spreads. These girls might be Cupid's interns. Everyone begins to realize these innocent-looking students know way too much. Concern builds for the poor, unnamed crush. Around them, brains are turning into scrambled circuits. Hikoichi and Nayu sit frozen, overwhelmed by secondhand romantic turbulence. But then, at the same time, they both start rummaging through their bags, flustered, synchronized, and trying to look anywhere but at each other. They each pull out notepads. Apparently, they've decided that age doesn't matter. They're here to learn. If these elementary school girls have cracked the love code, then so be it. Hikoichi and Nayu begin scribbling down notes from the overheard conversation. They both pretend to be doodling casually, but it's starting to look like an FBI romance operation. Romance 101 has officially started. In the group chat, one supporter says this train session has clearly impacted the two lovebirds. But the university student argues it might not work. After all, they're studying the same tactics together, which makes it easy to predict each other. It's the kind of closeness that says, I'm not confessing, but I've read the manual. The office lady disagrees. She's enjoying the show too much to doubt it. Meanwhile, the elementary school girls continue their conversation. One leans in and asks how her friend managed to hint she liked her crush without actually saying it. The entire train seems to pause, breath held, waiting for the answer. With a proud smile, the girl reveals her bold move. During lunch duty, she secretly gave him an extra piece of meat. Mouths across the train hang open in disbelief. It's somehow simple, sweet, and wildly bold for a schoolgirl. Hikoichi and Nayu immediately write it down like gospel. The next day, the impact becomes clear. As the memory of the elementary school girl's wisdom lingers, they sit just a little bit closer together. Neither says anything about it, but the change is quietly obvious to everyone watching. Golden Week is in full swing. Even the usual train feels different. Livelier, louder, filled with the energy of people heading off on holiday plans. A boy plops down next to Hikoichi and lets out a massive yawn. It's Kirishima, his clubmate. Soon they're chatting casually, Kirishima yawning like a lion after hibernation, while Hikoichi sits like a house cat trying to act wild. Kirishima's surprised to learn Hikoichi takes this train every day. When Hikoichi jokingly teases him about skipping practice and wonders if his girlfriend minds, Kirishima laughs. He's hanging out with the guys today. At 6:58, the train stops at its usual station. The regular crowd boards, including Hikoichi's unofficial fan club, the secret group of supportive passengers. The train is more crowded than usual, but Nayu doesn't show up. The group chat lights up. The office lady notices something's off. Hikoichi looks a bit lonely, like a sad dog outside a bakery. A dog allergic to both bread and feelings. The university student guesses the boy beside him must be from his club. Mid-chat, Hikoichi casually asks Kirishima if he's still dating the girl from the convenience store. Kirishima shakes his head. He's seeing a college girl now. The group reacts immediately. Someone notes how wildly different Kirishima is from Hikoichi. The manager sighs, nostalgic for his youth. Then Kirishima looks at Hikoichi, eyebrows raised. "Since when do you ask these kinds of questions?" he asks. Back in their club days, Hikoichi thought romantic tension was just a muscle cramp. Flustered, Hikoichi lies. He has experience now. The group chat goes dead silent, like he just claimed he moonlights as a dating coach. They all know the truth. This is the same guy who once lost to elementary school girls. The manager mutters that Hikoichi's just trying to protect his pride. No guy wants to admit he's out of his depth, not when his friend seems 10 steps ahead. The office lady gets it too. Kirishima, intrigued by Hikoichi's sudden confidence, asks for date ideas. Hikoichi freezes, then blurts out, "Movies. Maybe an aquarium?" The office lady cringes. He's treading into dangerous waters now. But Kirishima takes it seriously and asks for more. Hikoichi doubles down. Convertible. Left-hand drive. High-rise dinner. The office lady warns again. His cover's going to blow. To Kirishima, though, Hikoichi seems oddly mature, like a guy who watched one romance anime and now thinks he's leveled up emotionally. Then, in a shy moment, Hikoichi admits he thinks holding hands is sweet. This floors the group chat. The office lady melts. The manager smiles like a dad watching his son grill without setting off the smoke alarm. Just then, Kirishima narrows his eyes and asks how long Hikoichi's been planning all this in his head. Hikoichi tries to dodge, but Kirishima presses. He's known Hikoichi for a while and can tell something's up. Hikoichi blushes. Quietly, he confesses, he's a total rookie, once even lost to grade schoolers. It's the kind of line that makes everyone on the train clutch their bags like they're filled with emotional support tissues. The group chat explodes. All that carefully crafted dignity? Gone. But then, something real happens. Hikoichi finally opens up. He likes someone. It was love at first sight. He doesn't know her name, doesn't know if she's single. He just wishes he could talk to her. He turns to Kirishima and asks for help. "Teach me how to talk to girls." Kirishima blinks, unsure if this is a love emergency or last-minute summer tutoring. The group chat erupts with support for Kirishima. Kirishima laughs and says he only knows how to flirt. Hit on 20 girls, maybe one responds. The rest treat him like garbage. It's like a claw machine. High effort, low reward, fun to watch from a distance. But he tells Hikoichi not to compare himself. You're cool in your own way, he says. I bet she's already noticed you. Hikoichi panics. She? He tries to shush him, worried someone might hear. Too late, the group chat lights up like fireworks. Then Kirishima stands, his stop approaching. Before stepping off, he turns and grins. She'll be on the train tomorrow, same time. Trust me. The entire chat freezes. How does he know that? In that moment, Kirishima doesn't feel like a flirt. He feels like a prophet. After an entire week, our duo finally gets the chance to sit together again, and both secretly feel overjoyed. Their heartbeats sync with the train's rhythm, but no one is more thrilled than their secret group of supportive passengers. Just as things seem perfect, a twist arrives. A man rushes off the train as his station arrives, but accidentally leaves his phone behind. The uni student calls after him, but he doesn't hear. Without hesitation, Hikoichi grabs the phone and runs out, returning it just in time. Everyone, including the supporters, appreciates his quick thinking, wondering he's either a true gentleman or is secretly auditioning for the next action movie titled Fast and Polite. But suddenly, the train doors close, and it departs, leaving Hikoichi behind. His face turns blank with shock. The passengers are even more heartbroken than he is. There goes their favorite source of entertainment. Nayu, still on board, sits silently, visibly saddened to lose her rare chance to sit beside him again. It's the kind of heartbreak where even chewing gum tastes like betrayal. Hikoichi silently vows that this won't happen again. Tomorrow, he'll definitely sit next to her. The next day, however, an old man sits beside Hikoichi and starts talking about video games. The group chat reacts instantly. This old man is ruining Hikoichi's love life. One of them seriously considers printing flyers titled, "Dear Sir, please sit literally anywhere else." Yet, they also notice he seems to enjoy Hikoichi's company. Hikoichi can't bring himself to reserve a seat selfishly. It feels wrong to deny someone else. Hikoichi's moral compass is so strong, it probably files taxes for him every April. But now he decides next time, he will definitely sit with her. Meanwhile, the old men chat peacefully, unaware they've just crushed the hopes of 5 secret romance fans. He makes a plan. He'll come early and secure their spot. The following day, he arrives early and saves a seat. But then, 2 elderly men arrive, visibly troubled that only 1 seat is available. The supportive passengers watch silently. Hikoichi, embarrassed by their comments, ends up giving up his seat. Once again, he loses his chance to sit with her. The group chat becomes tense. They all know the boy's kindness and lack of assertiveness are holding him back. They fear it might become a fatal flaw in his love story. Later at school, Hikoichi confides in his friends. One suggests he pretend to be asleep next time, but Kirishima shoots it down. Hikoichi's acting is terrible. They quickly realize the core issue. Hikoichi is just too nice. He admits he doesn't want her to think he's uncool. His friends don't get it, until he explains that to him, giving up a seat for an elder is cool. In his mind, Hikoichi thinks about how packed the morning trains are. Dozens board at a station. He and his crush are just 2 faces in a crowd. Yet he feels impatient. They sit together every day, but they don't even know each other's names. And one day, maybe even tomorrow, she might stop riding this train altogether. So he questions himself. What is he waiting for? Probably a sign from the universe, or a random push from Kirishima pretending to be fate. Then Kirishima's advice echoes in his mind. Be patient. The next morning, lost in thought, Hikoichi hears the announcement for the girls' station. His heart pounds. Suddenly, someone sits beside him. He's waited so long for this moment, and today she sits next to him. His face turns red with shyness, while the secret supporters silently celebrate. To Hikoichi, this moment feels like it's happening after an eternity. In the group chat, the uni student announces he's never been this happy seeing Hikoichi and Nayu together. But they all agree. No more interruptions. Today, they'll protect this peaceful moment. One of them even stands up to stretch, just in case they need to throw hands for love. No one will take their seats away, and if anyone tries, the group is ready to deal with it. Hikoichi and Nayu deserve this. They finally sit together again after what feels like forever. It's a rare, quiet moment. Tension hangs in the air like a held breath. The secret supportive passengers sense it too. Silently, they make a pact. No one disturbs them today. If needed, they'll become a makeshift security team. Any interference will be stopped, no matter what. But in the group chat, the university student raises a valid point. Can they really stop anyone? They're passengers too, not gatekeepers. The manager nods. Finally, someone thinking logically. Even so, the chat reaches a firm conclusion. No backing out. Today is the day. Back in their seats, Hikoichi and Nayu's elbows brush. Both flinch and immediately shift away. Nayu quickly apologizes, and Hikoichi replies with a casual, "No problem," nudging her elbow back. That light tap? In the world of introverts, it's practically a romantic handshake. The tension thickens. Nayu wonders if she overreacted. Hikoichi, meanwhile, worries his arms are too stiff. Could she hear his heartbeat? Even his elbow has stage fright. They both sit there blushing, hearts racing. Hikoichi thinks it's okay that they go to different schools, but quietly wonders, what if she called me by name? How would I even react? Suddenly, the passengers spot someone approaching, possibly about to interrupt. Instantly, the group chat shifts from support mode to romance defense protocol. No one's ruining this moment. Not on their watch. The manager declares they must protect Hikoichi and Nayu at all costs. Just then, trouble appears. The man who lost his phone a few days ago is back. Hikoichi had given up his seat to return it, and now there's a risk he might recognize him. The group panics. If that happens, their moment could be ruined. They decide to intercept, but before they can act, the man bumps into someone. His belongings scatter across the floor. His phone sliding out, too. The passengers leap into action. The office ladies and university student dive for a fallen pencil, like it's the last rose on a dating show. But before they reach it, Hikoichi and Nayu spot the pencil as well. They both bend down at the same time, and their hands touch. They freeze, blush. Flustered, they mumble apologies, not daring to meet each other's eyes. Somewhere in the train, a love story gains half an XP. The other passengers hand the fallen items back. The man smiles, relieved. Thank God. As he walks away, the group celebrates. Mission 1, complete. But their victory is short-lived. The old men with knee problems, whom Hikoichi had once given his seat to, are now boarding. A supporter begins praying. Another offers vending machine snacks to the gods. They scramble for a solution. Just before panic sets in, 2 nearby men quietly stand and offer their seats to the old men. The university student notices these 2 have been watching Hikoichi and Nayu just like them. Silent allies. Guardians of young love, more loyal than lunchboxes. But the final boss appears, the friendly old man who always chats with Hikoichi about games. If he sits next to him, their moment is over. Just as he nears Hikoichi's seat, Kirishima calls out from behind, pointing to the character on the man's phone case. "I love that game," he says. Hook, line, and gamer bait. The old man turns, delighted, and starts chatting with Kirishima instead. Crisis averted. The group is stunned. Kirishima arrived out of nowhere and saved the day. Some say he's not a student, just a chaotic guardian angel in sneakers. Then comes the biggest moment. Hikoichi's stop. He stands, startled. It arrived so fast. But as he steps off, Nayu notices something. His student ID is still on the seat. One of the office ladies grabs it without hesitation and bolts off the train, calling to Hikoichi just in time. He turns, and behind her, Nayu walks toward him, ID in hand. Time seems to freeze. His face turns bright red. The supporters watch from afar as Nayu approaches. With a small breath of courage, she hands him the ID. "You left this," she says gently. Hikoichi nods, heart pounding. "Thanks. No problem." They stand there, too shy to say anything more. The moment hangs, fragile and tender. Even the train seems to wait a beat longer, holding its breath for them. Then the station announcement breaks the silence. The train's about to depart, but something between them has already moved. From behind, Nayu's friend suddenly calls her name, asking why she's outside when the train's about to leave. Nayu panics. She turns and rushes back just as the doors close behind her. The train pulls away. Hikoichi stands frozen on the platform watching it go. Inside the train, the secret supportive passengers collapse into their seats. Fingers flying as the group chat lights up. They know. The mission is complete. When our boy dropped his ID and Nayu's friend called her name, they each heard it and remembered. For both, it's a quiet but meaningful victory. For the first time, they know each other's names. In their separate places, both blush. Their hearts feel lighter. Their smiles are softer. The group chat celebrates like it's a national holiday. Name reveal day. Cake emojis everywhere. Hikoichi and Nayu now know each other's names, and both are quietly happy about it. The next day, however, our lad notices there's no seat available next to Nayu. Still, he hopes to find a moment to thank her for what happened yesterday. As night falls, the secret supportive passengers gather for their usual meetup. Over drinks, they excitedly discuss how Hikoichi and Nayu have finally acknowledged each other. Cheers erupt. Beers are raised. This small step feels huge. Meanwhile, Hikoichi is heading home from school on the train with his friends. He beams as he tells them he finally found out the girl's name. His friends are thrilled, just as much as the secret supportive passengers had been earlier. Then Hikoichi hushes them, reminding them people are sleeping on the train. One friend asks how he learned her name. Hikoichi explains that 2 days ago she dropped her student ID while rushing and came back to return it. It's hard to explain, he admits, but just thinking of her name lights something up inside him, and even saying it makes him blush. The secret supportive passengers are beside themselves. They can't hear the conversation, but they just know he's talking about her. That's enough to send them into their own quiet celebration. Then one of Hikoichi's friends asks, has he searched Nayu's name on social media? Another chimes in, surprised he hasn't already. Maybe she's on Instagram or TikTok. He suggests that if Hikoichi finds her, he could talk to her outside the usual train routine. Step into her world. Just a little. Back at the gathering, the university student, curious, types her name into social media himself, but comes up empty. Meanwhile, Hikoichi tells his friends he's not interested in looking her up online. But one friend knows the truth. Hikoichi already tried and found nothing. The university student realizes something else. Hikoichi doesn't have any accounts under his real name either. During the conversation, the office lady points out that this is common with today's youth. Everyone uses aliases, especially students from different classes or schools, who barely know each other's names. But the moment you do know their name, she says, something shifts. You start imagining them in your life, like singing their name inside a love song or carving it into an eraser when no one's looking. Meanwhile, Hikoichi's friends ask to see his eraser. Alarmed, he snaps, "Why do you want to see it? There's nothing written on it." But they already know. He's done exactly what they're teasing him about. He's just not ready to admit it. Then the whispering starts. His friends are plotting something. Since they know Nayu's name and school, why not go there and try to get her contact info? One praises the other for coming up with such a clever idea. Didn't expect that from you. Hikoichi looks confused. Then one friend turns to him and says, if he really wants answers, he should just talk to her, face to face. As they step off the train, one of them grins and says he just wants to enjoy the drama, watching every moment of Hikoichi's romance unfold like a favorite show. That night, in their separate homes, both Hikoichi and Nayu find themselves searching for each other's accounts online. They find nothing. They pause. Maybe they shouldn't be doing this. Both blush quietly, caught in their own thoughts, and almost at the same time, both whisper the other's name. Then panic, asking themselves, why am I doing this? Meanwhile, after their meetup, the secret supportive passengers are glowing with joy. The food was good. The day was full of heartwarming moments. Then the university student goes quiet. When someone asks what's wrong, he says, it's nothing. Then adds, almost to himself, he was just wondering if now that they know each other's names, maybe they're both sitting alone in their rooms, repeating those names silently in their hearts. The office lady throws a napkin at him. Don't go saying emotional things like that after a full dinner. Somewhere nearby, the manager realizes he missed his own train, but that's another story entirely.